Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about what could possibly be the next banner based on the patterns, based on the information we have, and stuff like that. Obviously, with leaks no longer being a thing, we don't know what the next banner is going to be. Literally, I have no clue. But I'm just going to talk about either things that I would love to see, things that could happen based on recent events, turns like based on what they said we might be getting and stuff like that. So before we begin, make sure you guys subscribe and like. And shout outs to everybody who came through to the watch party for the Overzone Story 1 event. That was a fantastic story. We cannot wait to do the Story 2, which will actually be happening on the 10th of May. Right, we'll be on the Wednesday. We'll definitely be doing that before Reset hits. So if you guys want to show up to that one, I'll have that one set up later on tomorrow, and you guys can go ahead and notify to watch it, because right now the story is pretty insane. It's very, very nice. But let's talk about the banners that could be happening. So as of late, I realized one thing already. We haven't had a defender character since how long? Makima? Ray, I guess Ray is a free-to-play defender, right? Ray. Before Ray, summonable wise, it was Makima. And before that, it was Jackal. Before that, it was Rupee. And before that, it was nobody, because everybody else was in the game beforehand, right? So they only ever had 4 summonable characters in the game, right? Summonable defenders in the game, being Makima, Xmas Rupee. I guess summonable would only be 3: Jackal, Makima, and Xmas Rupee. But Ray is a free-to-play one that they're giving out for free right now. So there's that. I think defenders could obviously get a banner. In terms of what character is going to come out, we haven't. It's definitely not going to be Pilgrim, right? It's definitely not going to be a Pilgrim. There's not really like a pattern or a schedule saying like it has to be a specific manufacturing corp. We just finally got our second ever Elysion summonable banner. The first ever one was the first banner, and that was Helm. Helm was the first banner in the game, summonable banner in the game, and she was the only Elysion they had dropped before they had dropped D. So I don't mind if they drop another Elysion character, which they possibly could, because they've been dropping, like, I think before D there was Sakura, right, who is a Tetra, right? Where's Sakura? This Carol right here. She is a Tetra. I think before her was it was Biscuit, and Biscuit is also a Tetra. And before Biscuit, it was the collab, right? The Chainsaw Man collab and stuff like that. But before that, it was Soda, and I believe Soda is also a Tetra. So they've only dropped, besides the collab, they've literally dropped Tetra. And even before that, it was Coco, and what is she? Tetra. So they literally only have been dropping Tetras before they dropped this D, right? Now, Missilus hasn't really... What's the last character Missilus got for a summonable character? It was Jackal. They've only ever had 2 summonable Missilus, Jackal and Laplace. So that means it has to guarantee be either Missilus or it has to guarantee be Elysion, because Jackal and Laplace are the only summonable characters they have dropped. Everybody else was here before. Now, Guilty was a new character as well, but she was a free-to-play character. She's from Liberation. But later, Senti, Drake, Pepper, Maxwell, Crow, Julia, Ipeno, Admi, all these characters came out before. Or wait, maybe Anne. I'm missing one summonable character that came out on a banner. It's only this girl. She's Missilus. Okay, so Missilus. It was her. She's Missilus. Anne is Missilus as well. I'm missing her. That's why I don't own her. So it was Jackal, Missilus, or Jackal and Laplace, right? But that doesn't really mean anything, right? Like I said, they've had 4 Tetras in a row, so it's kind of hard for me to say, oh, because they have 4 Tetras in a row, it's guaranteed not going to be a Tetra again, because nothing was stopping them before, right? We just got our second ever summonable Elysion, and that ended up being D. So I wouldn't mind if they had another Elysion. I wouldn't want another Burst 3 character. But I feel like they kind of been evenly, like, kind of spreading out their, like, Burst situation evenly, right? Because last banner we got was D. That's the last new character we had. Well, Dorothy is the banner we have right now. She's a Burst 1. D was before that. She's a Burst 3. Before D was Sakura, she's Burst 1. Before that was Biscuit, she's Burst 2. And then before that was the collab being Burst 3 and 2. So yeah, they've been kind of splitting up their burst situation is like fantastically. So it doesn't really matter to me. I want to say a burst 2 character is kind of in order right now. We don't really need another burst 3 character, and burst 2 kind of is like slept on realistically. Not really. Like they have Guilty, they have Rupee, they have Senti, they have Dala, right? But we haven't had a we only had 2 summonable burst 2. There's no way. Am I missing somebody who's a burst 2? Okay, Anne. They've only had 3 burst 2 summonable characters. They've only had how much burst 3 summonable characters? They've had, okay, D was 1, Helm was 1, Laplace was 1, Modernia, and then Power. Those are all burst 2, or, oh no, and Makima, right? Makima, Biscuit, and that's it. Yeah, so 3. Oh, Folkwang. No, Folkwang is in the game before. I don't know where I'm going with this, bro. I don't know where I'm going with this. But I would want them to drop a Burst 2 character, I think. I think Burst 2 is a character that honestly doesn't have much love in terms of summonable banners. We definitely don't need another Burst 1 because if we were to get another Burst 1, they're not replacing Dorothy. They're not replacing Litter. Let's just keep it a buck. They're not going to do that. Burst 3... Sure, we could get another Burst 3, but it's like, do we really need that? How much Burst 3 DPSs do we have? Drake, Haran, Snow White, Modernia, Laplace, right? D, if you for just bosses, like, you know what I mean? Alice, right? We don't need another Burst 3 character right now, right? And I'm not saying because we have all these God tier Burst 3s, we should never get one again, but I feel like we're good right now in terms of Burst 3s. Well, technically, it's really been a minute. If you don't count D, because she's only a boss killer, it's really been a minute. Moderna was like really the main one. Power was alright, but nobody uses her like that. Burst 1, again, I don't think Burst 1 should be touched at all. If anything, I think we should get a Burst 2 Elysion character. That's what I think. Just because we've only ever had 2 summonable Elysion characters, and their manufacturing corp doesn't really matter much. But again, when it comes to the tower, it does, right? And D was not really a buff to the Elysion tower, right? Unless you're fighting, if you're not fighting bosses, D literally has no value in this game. That's the one thing about that character. She's fantastic against boss characters, but if you're not fighting a boss, she loses all value, literally. You can't use it for progression. You can't use her in PvP because her skills do not work. Her skills really only work when you're fighting a boss, right? It procs when a target enemy appears. Now, obviously, in progression, there are targeted enemies and stuff like that, but that's only at the end of the stage, right? The whole other time you're fighting, what is she doing? Nothing at all, actually. So I feel like you don't really get much value out of something like that, right? But I think Elysion Burst 2 is what we should get. A Defender would be nice because, again, I don't feel like Defenders have had that much love in terms of summonable banners. But you guys definitely let me know what you guys would want. I think for me, I would want I don't think the Nier collab is happening after this Half Annie. That's why I didn't mention Jack about it the whole video. But I think a Burst 2 Elysion Defender is what we should get in terms of just fairness, in terms of like what we've been getting. Maybe you guys don't really care for a Defender, but I don't know. You guys definitely let me know what you think. I probably have the like I've probably seen, and I don't know. Okay, but yeah, it's gonna be your boy Zxous. I'm gonna end the video here. Definitely let me know what you guys would want for the next band, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.